Hot potatoes. Hot potatoes. Potatoes with cream.
Wednesday, May 20th, 1955. In the Central Plains of the United States,
Potatoes with cream and
Oklahoma were preparing for a long
something
night of
else for
severe
Barack
weather.
Obama.
Throughout the day, reports of strong, scattered thunderstorms were coming in from the west side of the state. Many communities sent out warnings making a big storm were some of the strongest they had ever encountered. This was all due to a low pressure system over the Oklahoma Panhandle, moving eastward, interacting with
And we are back to doing the stream that what I'm doing. I am not doing anything, but I'm just killing people.
We begin tonight with a toddler towed away and left alone
Boom! Boom!
for 6.
Oh, damn it.
We begin tonight with a toddler towed away and left alone in an impound lot. For 6. I'm Carol Clifford.
I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, there are major
That didn't go as I want to end.
Here's what we know about
Well, we try it again.
the car, which first seen Thursday, left parked on a neighborhood street in Harper Woods by Friday afternoon. That vehicle was reported and showed
I wish I had a rock.
The toddler was not discovered until Saturday morning, still inside that car after spending the night alone.
7 News reporter Randy Whitley spoke with the family who says the car sat right outside their home and they had no idea a child was inside. CPS is now involved in this case. At last check, police say that baby is in stable condition and is expected to fully recover after being left in that abandoned vehicle initially found right on the street.
Awkwardly parked, like half, well, not half, but a little bit in our driveway.
Jennifer Ruffin showed where that car was left right in front of her home Thursday night.
And you can't park on this side of the street. So that caught our attention.
Harper Woods police say 2 days later, on Saturday, a 13-month-old child was found in that same vehicle at the phone line. Ruffin says she and her family shudder at the thought the child endured the elements alone just steps from their front door. What ran through your mind when you found out there was a 1-year-old baby in that car?
I was speechless. I had to calm down. I was driving. I got the information. I had to pull over and catch my breath. And the temperature was going up and down. That was the thing that went across my mind. That poor baby.
Ruffin says her husband reported the news to the Harper Woods Police Friday. Still parked on David Street near I-94. Officers had him impounded that afternoon. About 3 hours before that, Detroit police say the child's mother arrived at the 9th precinct on the city's east side to report her baby was missing. A DPD detective reached out to Harper Woods and learned the vehicle belonging to the child's father had been towed and suspected the child might be in it. Police say detectives in Harper Woods officers went to the impound lot Saturday and found the crying toddler in the rear of the vehicle. The child's father is now in custody.
Somebody needs to pay for this.
All of this has left many residents like any
Heck yeah.
upset. Me and my cousins were talking about it yesterday because
Demon time all the time.
how could somebody forget a baby in a car? Who wasn't looking for the baby?
Ruffin says while she did spot a child's car seat inside, she never saw the toddler. Harper Woods police say the car was locked at the time of the tow and unable to be thoroughly investigated. Again, the father of that 1-year-old baby is in police custody. They are working to have that case over to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for a charging decision which could be coming soon. In Harper Woods, Frankie Lindbergh, 7 News Report.
All right, thank you so much, Randy.
What the hell? Oh, sniff your catnip. He's not sniffing his catnip. Oh, I can make a milk kitten.
Slide into winter. Snack that skips the spot. Add 4 grams of protein per cheese. Baby Bell, the fun kind of good.
Where do I go from here?
Nothing happened. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games. Played it. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that they've all lived in the same bedroom. It's like, how do you understand? Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in the bedroom, yeah, we have to understand the whole scenario. Have to find out that well, you and your brother Karen had done that. Yeah, it wasn't anything like weird. It wasn't anything we thought about. We go to the movies and we do this and do that. It's like, okay, you drop down, you go to sleep, you wake up. It's kind of just what happens.
Some of the old fans, Macaulay Culkin is a name that requires no introduction, and Michael Jackson needs no introduction. Full stop. In the early 1990s, it's hard to imagine anyone's showbiz careers bigger. And funnily enough, the two megastars soon became fast friends as a result. After Macaulay Culkin's overnight rise to movie superstar status, the New York City native was considered one of Hollywood's most successful child prodigies, a cultural phenomenon that broke records as the world's highest-paid child actor ever. Culkin soon turned more heads, becoming inseparable with his biggest superstar, Michael Jackson. The two were seen out together, taking over theme parks, raiding toy stores, and appearing in music videos together.
Hey, it looks like
Despite
there's
their
a ladder inside this
22-year
elevator.
age gap,
Hold
it
on,
was
let me
clear
try
they
to
had
open
a bond like no other that was often misunderstood. Throughout the years, as allegations of Jackson's behavior have exploded into the mainstream, people assume that Michael Jackson might have also been a child superstar. But the case never left range. What was it really like to call Michael Jackson your best friend? Here's the detail.
Let's see where this goes.
Before focusing primarily on that,
It's gonna
Macaulay
be a
was in
tight
fact
fit,
a
but
balance.
Just in
Michael
case.
Jackson and Macaulay Culkin's paths first crossed in 1989 when Culkin was performing in a production of Nutcracker at New York City's Lincoln Center. Jackson attended the event with his then Vice President Donald Trump and went backstage to meet the show's cast and crew. I've had quite an extensive relationship with this show. Well, yeah. How did you guys
you
meet?
find me something to climb on. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Lincoln Center? You were there?
That's crazy. And we fell into the water.
I'm alright! Are you okay?
Oh, Uncle Buck, yeah, you're fine. Uncle Buck, being a John Hughes, the comedy starring John Candy and McCollum, featured it that was released earlier that year. Neither a fan of Jackson or Neil were much better.
No!
Still, the brief encounter didn't make much
Stay out there!
impression on Macaulay Culkin.
I'll
It
make
was
my way up to
until
you.
over a year later when John Candy's next movie was released would Michael Jackson reach out
I'll
again.
try.
Home Alone was the period. Home Alone was
Aw.
the nation's #1 film for 12 consecutive weeks, eventually becoming the top grossing film of the year in the US and the highest grossing live action comedy ever. Home Alone was undeniably a monster blockbuster hit, and its lead actor, Macaulay Culkin, overnight became the most sought after child star of a generation. Seeing this develop, Michael Jackson had his people contact Culkin with advice on become a fan of the brand. Quote, he reached out to me because a lot of things happened legal fast. And I think he identified with that. Culkin said, there's no child actor that self-help at that point. I was pretty famous and met plenty of famous people. His fame,
So
I think
he
I'll try
reached
to
out to
do
me
you
a
yet.
bit because a lot of things were happening, big and fast with me. And I think, yes, I think he identified with that. He called me up kind of out of the blue. It's kind of this weird random thing. Like, why don't you come over to my house?
well, the pop icon related to him, finding such success at a young age. He also appreciated Copeland's ability to treat him like a normal person. Quote, I really didn't give a shit about famous people. I was thoroughly unimpressed by them. He recalled, quote, so when I first met him, I was like, oh, cool, you're that guy who sings songs. I sing songs at
Find me
school.
around this gate.
That's great. So, anyway,
Because I didn't react to him the way most people did. Most people are like, Michael Jackson. And, he was a god. And to me, he was,
Maybe that
I knew
doorway.
he was a pop singer, but beyond that, I wasn't one of the fans. I think that's one of the reasons why we connected. I really didn't actually give a shit about famous people because I was really unimpressed by them. So when I first met him, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Here's that guy. Oh, this guy who sings songs. Cool. Great. Yeah, I sing songs. Cool. That's great. So anyway,
Macaulay Culkin first stayed at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, they hit it off immediately, escaping from the pressures of the showbiz life into the fantasy world of childhood Jackson created for himself and show's guests. Quote, he's cool. He's a lot like me, Culkin said at the time. Quote, we go to the flea market, animals, carnivals, quad bikes. They like goofing off. At Neverland, McCoy spent time with Michael enjoying the amusement park rides, water balloon fights, watched the latest movies, Jackson's Private Theater, ate unlimited amounts of candy, and had Jackson's personal chef rustle up whatever his heart
Damn
desired. There
s'mores.
was no schedule, bedtime, or other plans, and in contrast to his regular working life, Macaulay could be as spontaneous and free as he liked.
I've never lost a lot of those fights.
No
I'm the Michael
shit.
Jordan of one fight. He's a dude. We won the fight again and again. I think that's what it was so long. Is that like everyone was always thoroughly impressed by him, and to the fact that it was somebody who was kind of just treated like a normal person. Kind of just like, yeah, he was that simple. Really, I called him a jerk all the time. I called him a fathead. I said that, I like Macaulay Culkin. He's scheme. He told me to go up on the diving board, and I went up there like that.
The two global superstars were soon inseparable, spending hours on the phone, vacationing in Bermuda together, and attracting hordes of fans and photographers while enjoying days out in Universal theme parks in Orlando, Florida.
Mac and I would go on vacation together, and Mac is very smart, and he's very ingenious in causing trouble. It's his idea. Yeah. So how much is that? We were in Bermuda together, and we were signing water balloons. He had signed water balloons, and he was throwing these balloons at the fans on the balcony. They loved it. They wanted more. They were asking for more.
Michael Jackson was soon asking the artist behind his next album cover to incorporate his new friends within his artwork. As well
Oh,
realized
okay.
it influenced McCollum to make a video.
This
Roger
can be
Waters.
useful.
Originally wanting Chris Columbus, Home Alone's director, to work on the epic music video, Michael Jackson cast Coleman as the precocious and claims too loud to the
Hate these
dismay of his
things.
father, played by Stuart Wynn. Later in the video, the child star is seen lip syncing a rap verse with Michael and a bunch of other young kids in true hip hop fashion. This is a 6-inch shoot, which is showing the cast occupied their downtime playing basketball together and performing pranks in the production studio.
And I think the life like social everything. Hey, John, yeah. What, man? Yeah. He was hilarious. He was sweet. And look at people know how funny he was. He was like calling people. He actually was really good. No. It's like out for years. And again, I'm good. Like, God, you already mattresses, mattress store. Like, he was charming, fucking funny.
Although their
Here
carefree
we
image
go.
was framed as just harmless fun, the video's eventual director, John Lamb, was soon tired of Michael's immature fantasies during the filming of Black and White. And I said, Michael, you have to show up and be right on the home. And we had a day that was probably 3 and 70 games, it's a big deal, right? And Mike took the part off to show us what the boys like. And when we finally found him, he and Mac had gone to Toys R Us and spent like $60,000. First of all, I didn't spend $60,000 at Toys R Us. He's like, huh? How do you do that? I said, Mike, you never had fun. So when asked what him and Michael Jackson liked to do together, Cohen said that their favorite activity was shopping. Quote, we always go to the race. He's get just like that run around the north. Days, he does, Cohen said eagerly. Although Cohen later seen Michael Jackson wanted to set up a he was also something that Cohen was going to join the pop star. Yall's about the show, it was reported that the Home Alone star had taken dancing lessons to prepare for the concert. However, this idea ultimately never received shook his head. Quote, no. Apart from the fun they had together, the two superstars also found out that they had much in common other than their careers in the limelight. Macaulay also came from a large family. For its own success, they were living in relative poverty with his family of 9 living in a one-bedroom apartment in New York City. Both were raised by ruthless fathers/managers, pushing them in their careers toward fame at a young age, and therefore both became financially responsible for their entire families. With that amount of adult pressure placed on them as a child, their carefree innocence is lost forever, but they are forced to grow up and are weighed down by many responsibilities. Quote, people wonder why I always have children. It's because I find the thing that I never had freedom. Disneyland, amusement parks, arcade games. I do all
What the
that
heck?
when I was little.
I'm at work right now. What the?
Jackson said in response to criticism of childlike lifestyle.
Please tell me that very few people besides Michael could really understand that kind of white hot tension. I was a peerless person. You know, I was like, yeah,
Okay.
no one else in my Catholic school even had even like
Not
this
the
much
key card.
idea of what I was going through. You know, or what and like
Heck
every
yeah.
other person was like, yeah, been through the exact same freaking thing. They wanted to make sure that like I was alone in that kind of thing. When someone
So
was
much for
shooting,
that. I gotta
I
find
went to
Ellie.
the street and it's
No.
kind of things. Yeah, I heard him whisper, we've seen it. Boy, now I'm gonna get my friend to get a bracelet or something.
Despite their 22-year age gap, Culkin could relate to superstar Michael Jackson much more than anyone else his own age. Knowing the loneliness that came with child superstardom, how unable to ever change dynamics within the family, and begin to think influx of culture into their own selfish intention, Michael Jackson felt the need to protect Macaulay Culkin in a manner he wished someone was there for him during those years growing up in the spotlight. Not only to help guide him through such unique challenges, but to also remind him that at the end of the day, you are just a kid, and you can embrace that also. Quote, we were friends. We were actually best friends for a special time while I was growing up. Culkin reminisced. Macaulay Culkin credited Jackson in part for helping him through difficult times with his family, and in particular his domineering father, who was becoming witness, chasing new career highs and increasing studio payouts for his movie star son. Kit Culkin, Macaulay's father, also held the reins when it came to how his son would respond to Jackson's latest controversy. In August 1993, it was announced that Los Angeles police were investigating a set of child abuse allegations made against Michael Jackson. In the coming weeks and months, the salacious case was endlessly reported and upon by the world media, with both sides using evidence and witness accounts to help steer the public's mind in their favor. In Jackson's camp, Brett Barnes and Wade Robson were interviewed with Michael Jackson and their friendship hopes of counteracting the character assassination taking place daily within the tabloid press. Police interviewed Macaulay Culkin soon after the allegations were first made, and the now 13-year-old child star wanted to make a public statement defending his personal friend. However, his father, Ted, flatly refused for such things to be made public in fear that the
Fine.
scandal would
Let's just be
damage
cool.
McCoy's family and image and jeopardize several multi-million-dollar
What?
Instead, the child actor rests in a stony wall of silence, despite the positives it would have brought Michael Jackson's aging public image to have his most famous child friend stand in his corner during this, his darkest of hours.
Then, later in 1993, Macaulay's good friend Michael Jackson was accused of child molestation. These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I'm hoping for a speedy. Later admitted he wished to speak out in Jackson's defense, but his father wouldn't let him. He was 13 years old at the time.
I used to struggle with anger, but now I use that to show me every one what I want. If the acting nerves
That's insane.
stop like sweating start, leaving your scalp. Help, wait, from the number one dermatologist recommended brand head and shoulders. Ready to make a difference? Earn an accredited degree online. You have your own personal definition of love. It takes a personal approach to get there. Like Miranda love. With a new spring season comes a fresh start. New ideas, new projects, new adventures. At Harbor Freight, you'll find quality tools and equipment. During the mid-1990s, Macaulay Culkin's career took a sudden and dramatic turn. After Kit Culkin's attempt at giving his son's career legitimacy with a dramatic role in The Good Son backfired. The father/manager then secured two major multi-million-dollar movie roles for Macaulay, record-breaking at the time. The first role was in a comedy film alongside Ted Danson called Getting Even with Dad, and the other being the lead in Warner Brothers' comic book adaptation of Richie Rich. Both films were panned by critics and flopped at box office. Macaulay was specifically targeted for criticism and was nominated for Worst Actor Razzie for his last three film performances. The cute wisecracking kid the audience initially fell in love with had grown into an awkward teenager who had lost his passion for acting. It was at this point Macaulay suddenly disappeared from the public eye as his parents formally separated, and the former child star fought with his father for control over his life, and now vast fortune.
Look, man, we can work something out, okay?
Michael Jackson supported Macaulay through his turbulent years and undoubtedly used his own business sense to help protect Culkin's money and set himself up for a future where he wouldn't be worth ever again. Michael Jackson even honored their enduring friendship by asking Macaulay Culkin, as well as Elizabeth Taylor, to be a godparent for his firstborn son, Prince, as well as his daughter, Paris. But then things like, when you were Taylor was godparent, but that's his son. It's a thing also. What about the little Michael Vermain and this other man? Hey, call me. I think that you want to be my son's godfather. And the next thing I know, it's like in the magazines and stuff like that. Just like, I didn't think it was a big deal. It's like one of my best friends, and that's definitely be his son's godfather. And what am I going to say? Oh, we are very best friends in the world, Culkin said in a few times. Quote, we're both going to be 8 years old forever in some places. We never had a chance to be 8 when we actually were. Neverland is still the only place on earth where I feel absolutely 100% comfortable. Macaulay was there for Michael's All-Star Salute in 2001. Sweet person. I'm very
Yep.
I think one of the great things
Come on, man. Come on, man.
act like kids all the time. That's kind of what we
Come
do.
on.
And
Come on.
Macaulay is the
Come on.
godfather of
Come on.
Michael's
Get your
kids.
ass up. Get your ass up. Get your ass up.
Oh, they're doing great.
Get up, bro.
They just keep on getting bigger. I think, it's normal to like you get the better. But his friend, yet again, was embroiled in a whole new set of allegations after the release of the 2000 documentary Michael Jackson. Culkin was now an adult, able to openly defend Michael Jackson in public and on television.
I shot the hell out of that guy, huh?
Court, stating in a Larry King
did.
interview that he really did like it.
He put a bullet in his brain.
And that he wouldn't want Michael to have to do that.
You just hang back like I told you to.
The relationship that you had with Michael Jackson.
Well, you're glad I didn't, right?
I'm glad I didn't get my head blown off by a goddamn kid.
You know what? No. How about, hey, Ellie, I know it wasn't easy,
Yeah,
but it was
man,
either
that's
him or me.
listening.
Thanks for saving my ass. You got anything like that for me, Joel?
Nothing happened. Nothing really.
We gotta get going.
Lead the way.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Crazy. Hey, you're laying next to your buddy.
Stories. Three actors and this and that. So when I took an adventure, yeah, you have to understand the whole scenario. Well, your brother's parents had done that. Yeah, it wasn't anything like it wasn't anything we thought about. We go to the movies and we listen. Yeah, we walk down and let's let the stuff just what happens, These are parents like that. We were against it. With what they
Wait there,
heard,
okay?
they were pushing me on it.
Sure,
We're just kind
Joel.
of like, I wanted that. And they were fine with that. 40 of them were what it's going through. But, like I said, it's unfortunate. And, it's a circuit breaker. I don't know, it's a little crazy. And I kind of have taken a step back from the whole thing because it's a bit of a circus. And, if the same thing was happening to me, I would want to direct it to it and vice versa. So I tried my best to keep a distance from it. But, like I said, I was like, I guess so, but I don't, I probably not. I mean, it's crazy, and I don't really want to be a part of it. However, the former child star ultimately did testify for Michael Jackson's defense as a character witness during the 2005 trial. In a brief and direct questioning, the then 24-year-old was resolutely saying no and absolutely not, as he was asked repeatedly whether the singer had ever molested. When cross-examined by prosecutor Rob Nolan about a Rolex watch struck in 2011, Colton said, quote, I wasn't a person of limited means. It wasn't all that awe-inspiring. Quizzed about where he slept in Neverland, Colton insisted he tended to, quote, flop down wherever he was, in the video arcade, the theater, or Jackson's bedroom, and insisted he always fell asleep fully clothed. After Macaulay Culkin arrived and left the courthouse here in Santa Maria with very little fanfare, his testimony didn't last too long. In a very
We need to get
clear
back
and
out,
strong voice,
find
he
that
told the
bridge.
jury Michael
Everywhere I
Jackson
go.
never touched him inappropriately. He also said, quote, I never saw him acting proper with anybody. Culkin did say that someone interrupted cross-examination by prosecutor
What's
Ron
going
Bennett. Culkin
on?
did say yes,
Bullets.
he shared a bed with Michael Jackson, but he
I
described it
need
more
to
like
find
falling
bullets.
asleep on Jackson's bed. The prosecution then attempted to try and suggest that perhaps Jackson molested Culkin while he was sleeping. Prosecutor Jones saying, so as far as you know, you were never
Oh,
molested while you were awake. Culkin's response, as far as I know, I was never molested by Michael Jackson. While at the Santa Barbara courthouse, the two longtime friends bumped into each other in the men's bathroom. We better not talk, Jackson said, according to Culkin. Quote, I don't want to influence your testimony. They both quietly chuckled at the tense circumstances and embraced before returning to court.
oh
You
man.
did say that you felt that you did not have a natural relationship to that kids and before he stayed in his house. How did you know?
Any bullets?
Well,
Yes.
you never know anything without 100% certainty. But at the same time, my opinion is, if you didn't do anything to me, I don't think you would have done it with anyone else. When was the last time you talked? That was 4 months ago. How is it doing? Living you are talking to sound like he's doing better, and his voice was stronger. So, I just said, just go and take care of yourself, essentially.
That's
It was my
a
advice,
backdrop.
so
People would
who
take their
knows, go
pictures in front of it.
Yeah, I know what
This
it
would be the
is.
very last time
Okay,
Macaulay
then.
Culkin would see Michael
Something
Jackson
on your mind,
before
Ellie?
he passed away.
I wasn't trying to disobey you back there.
Macaulay Culkin
You
later
were
reflected,
taking a really
quote,
long time, and I
Michael was one of the most
thought
important people in my life.
maybe he's
He
gotten
was
into
my best
trouble.
friend. We were strongly connected because we knew what I was going through. It's one of my friendships that people question only because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world. I know it's a big deal to everyone else, but to me, it was a normal friendship. Jackson's 3 children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, solemnly emerged from a caravan of Rolls Royces just after sunset. His entire family more than an hour late for a service witnessed
I'll be
by
able to get through
Jackson's
with
newest
this.
friends. Among them, 77-year-old Liz Taylor, frequent Neverland guest Macaulay Culkin, and his longtime collaborator, Quincy Jones. You always kept this friendship with Michael. That's right. And just this past January, Macaulay talked about the pop star on the Inside of Michael Music podcast. He revealed that he and Jackson bonded over their childhood fame. It's almost easy to try to tell it was like weird and everything, but it wasn't. Because one of the friendships that people question, only because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world. He was the kind of person like, yeah, they do the exact same freaking thing. They wanted to make sure that like I was around. For me,
Damn, this is
it's so normal
fuck.
and mundane. Like, I know it's a big
How about a hand?
You sure you can trust me with that?
Ellie,
However, despite McCoy's
push!
just
I am.
Push harder!
getting to find himself more against the power to
There,
speculate
how's
in the
that?
beliefs of leaving Neverland
Let's go.
2018. In the two-part documentary film, Wade Robson, who also appeared in Jackson's black and white music video, brings up Macaulay Culkin when discussing his own relationship with the singer. Quote, Macaulay was where I was my previous experience, right by Michael's side every moment. I didn't get a lot of shit. Just follow me on plastic. Happy mind, okay? That's the only thing I'm a cop to do all of it. Download prize picks. New users play $5 and get $50 discount from Your assistant clip, Miles shows live and sea songs. He's perfect for adding flavor to your life. What's your way to take it?
The heck? Nope, it's no bag. Alright.
Take the next step in treating your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis with Intibia, the only gut-focused.
Now I'm kind of on the
He
sideline.
has the gun.
Right now,
The suggestion
I'm gonna jump down there and I'm gonna clear us a path.
What about me?
You stay here.
This is so stupid. We'd have more of a fucking chance if you let me help.
However,
I
in its
am.
attempt to expose Michael Jackson's alleged
You seem to
Oh,
know your
what's
way
the
around the
plan,
gun.
Joe?
in the film's
You
director
reckon you can handle that?
ever consider interviewing Macaulay Culkin as part of the project.
I
Well,
sort of shot a
I
rifle
gave it some
before,
serious thought. In the
but
end,
it
I
was
knew
at
that Macaulay would
rats
make statements
Rats.
consistently rebutting allegations that were
with
made.
BBs.
I'm not in the business about it. I don't want
It's
to
the
push
same
Macaulay
basic
to
concept.
anything he doesn't
Lift
want
it
to
up.
admit or confront that he
Gun
Right now.
safety first.
You're going to lean right into that stock because it is
Despite
going to
being
kick a hell of a lot more than any
explicitly
baby
mentioned
rifle.
not given the
Yeah.
opportunity to be interviewed
Go
for
and
the
pull the
film,
bolt
the
back.
former child star
Grab it
has
right
since
there.
stated, quote,
Just tug
he
it.
never did
There you
anything,
go.
never
As soon as
saw
you
food,
fire,
and
you're
especially
going to want to
this
get another
platform
round in there
time,
quick.
I have no reason to hold it.
Listen to me.
The guy's passed on.
If I
If I
get
had
into
something
trouble
to
down
speak
there,
about, I would
you
totally
make
do it.
every
But no, I
shot
never
count.
saw him.
Yeah.
Never did he.
I got this.
Reaffirming that as a now retired actor outside of the whole Hollywood
All right.
scene, funding of his own money, there would be no reason at all for him to mislead or be dishonest when it came to the nature of the
Just so we're clear
relationship
about back there,
And now Macaulay has always
it was
said
either him or
that
me.
Michael never did anything inappropriate to him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Now, in the interview, Macaulay says, in part, quote, if I had
And that's the
something to
recognition.
speak up about, I was willing to do it.
Yeah,
But
that's
no,
all
Yeah.
right to know, but
he
if
never
you're
did
gonna
anything.
steal,
Now,
you wanna
Macaulay
make sure you
also
get
talked
away
about
with
an
it.
awkward
I would've
interaction he
just...
had with James Franco while he was signing Michael Jackson. He said that James asked him what he thought about it. Well, he simply responded with, quote, do you want to talk about your dead friend? And for some reason, though, people think he's the only one who knows because he was there. So everyone wants his opinion. In my head, there's no way, again, I'm speculating, there's no way Michael Jackson would touch or do anything to Macaulay Culkin because he was the most famous person on or to hide because I have children friends and I do nothing to it. And he can still
Yes.
broadcast that out to everyone. Yeah.
He did this interview, but he does not do a lot of interviews. He hasn't done one in 15 years, I think. He doesn't need to. He's not promoting anything right now. He's already talking about their name there. He's right there, but knows his name. He's doing this, I think, to tell people to take my dead friend's name out of your mouth. However, despite Macaulay Culkin's desire to shake off his association with the King of Pop and the controversies that continue to surround him,
That is
one thing
crazy.
he's grateful for is he's more than the stock out of Paris. Quote, I'm closing fast. I'm going to warn you now, I am very protective of it, but just look out. Let me think I love this stuff. He's tall, simple, smart.
Watch my back.
It's good. The two even lived together and worked on and off for 4 years, sharing with her his habit of stealing spoons from restaurants, bars, and cafes in a formal spot. Paris and Macaulay even gave one another spoons as gifts and have matching spoon tattoos on their forearms. But Paris is the type of prize, hoping that the one piece of prize given by virtue of the spoon. Quote, don't forget to be silly. Don't forget to take something away from this whole experience, and don't forget to stick something up your sleeve. As for Culkin himself,
Cover me.
Oof.
I'm moving up.
turned out so far. Quote, I'm a retired person walking around with a dead in my arm. I'm living a good life, the former child star said. Quote, I mean, it could have been worse. You know? I mean, look at me. I've got money, got a beautiful girlfriend, beautiful house, beautiful end. Honestly, it's not so bad. Thanks for watching. Check out our other videos, honestly.
Huh? Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you were in his shoes, you would be there too. Damn.
I wanted to kind of just more. That wasn't enough for me. Tucker was my last witness in our case.
Okay, go. Watch my back.
Chris Tucker was not just Hollywood's golden boy, he was also Michael Jackson's best friend. But after decades of tragic demise, he vanished. Why? It was considered to be unselfish morals. It's wonderful to work with. And I agree, it's a wonderful thing to do. It's a thing to not was it connected to his friendship with Michael Jackson? A friendship so deep that Chris risked everything in defense in 2005?
Chris Tucker was my last witness in our case. First of all, I had to think long and hard about whether we needed to put on a defense case, because I thought the cross-examination of the prosecution's witnesses was devastating to the prosecution.
And why did it happen the week of taking Michael Jackson's life? We watched this again, right in front of our own face. And they knew it was going to happen. He told us, and we didn't. And finally, did Michael's tragic death change Chris Tucker forever? That's my roots, because I wanted to just get back to where I started. Chris Tucker wasn't just another fan of Michael Jackson. He was one of the
There you are.
confidants. A friendship that transcended the distant glamour. Their bond began in the early 2000s when Michael personally reached out to Chris after watching Rush Hour 2. Chris often
All right, come on down.
trademark humor, mimicking Michael's soft-spoken voice to the delight of fans. Chris Tucker, this is Michael Jackson, Michael had said. I just wanted to tell you, you're thinking with the wrong lens. What started as a fan admiring and competing unique style blossomed into a close, enduring friendship. Michael, famously private and selective about the company he kept, saw in Chris not just humor but sincerity, a kindred spirit who could make him laugh and feel at peace. The two became inseparable, sharing adventures that were as heartwarming and
Probably
memorable
better
as
option to give a pistol.
countless hours
Or a
together
pistol.
at Michael's Neverland Ranch, where they indulged in simple joys like watching movies or racing
How about
go-karts.
something
Michael's sense of childlike wonder found a perfect match in Chris's
a little more
affectionate
your
energy.
size?
Michael he was the greatest entertainer ever,
It's
the
for
biggest entertainer in
emergencies
the world,
only.
but he was the nicest guy in the world, man. He was just nice, man. I would go to Neverland and I would say I like something, he would give it to me. I said, I like that big screen TV. He's like, you like it, Chris? I said, yeah, I like it. He said, do you like it?
I'll add trust there. So it's nice.
But their antics weren't
Okay.
confined to the ranch. Stories abound in their
Now the
excursions, like
safety's
sneaking
on.
into movie theaters
You
together,
know how to
with
switch it
Michael's
off?
iconic
I do.
status causing quite a
You
stir. Chris once shared
you
how
gotta
fans
respect
took
it.
him
This
for
is not
Michael's
a
bodyguard
Joel,
during a
be
shopping
careful.
trip. Laughing
great.
as he recounted the chaos, Chris said, "They
Reassurance.
thought I was the bodyguard. I was
That's so
like,
nice.
Michael, they're pushing me out of the way." But their friendship wasn't just about laughter and fun. It was tested in the most public and dramatic way when Michael faced accusations in 2005. As the pop star's world crumbled under scrutiny, many of his so-called friends distanced themselves, unwilling to jeopardize their reputation. Not Chris Tucker. When Michael needed support the most, Chris didn't hesitate. Despite advice from his managers, agents, and lawyers urging him to stay out of the legal fray, Chris took the stand during Michael's trial. His testimony was a bold statement of loyalty and courage. He recounted how Michael had helped him financially during difficult times and described the accusations against his friend as unfounded. Tom Mesereau, Michael Jackson's defense attorney, praised Chris's unwavering support, saying, Chris Tucker will always go down in my book as one of Michael's most loyal friends. He said, Michael needs me. I'll be there. His heartfelt words added a humanizing layer to the King of Pop's defense, helping to tilt public opinion in Michael's favor during a turbulent time. This testimony was pivotal in the trial, but being so publicly tied to Michael was controversial. Friends noted his retreat from the public eye and from Hollywood altogether. In interviews, Chris admitted Michael's death shook him to his core. He felt disillusioned with fame and the industry. This Michael man missed.
Alright, do your thing, Ellie.
On it.
At the time, the Gotham colony began rushing with rumors about Tucker's refusal to accept certain roles. He became selective, turning down lucrative offers that didn't align with his vision for a diverse and meaningful career. Some industry insiders weighed in as sneaky, while others saw it as rebellion against being typecast. Chris Tucker stepping away from Hollywood got people talking. Fans hoped he'd make a big comeback, while others wondered if he lost his spark. But the truth is, Tucker wasn't happy with how the industry treated him and other black actors. He walked away because he wanted more than what Hollywood was offering. For years, Tucker was stuck in a loop of being offered the same kinds of roles, loud, over-the-top characters that played into tired stereotypes. It felt like the industry couldn't see past his skin color, boxing him into a narrow idea of who he could be as an actor. This wasn't just about typecasting, though. Tucker, like many black actors, faced a deeper issue. Hollywood's habit of reducing black men to shallow roles that stripped away their complexity. Instead of giving him parts with real depth, the industry kept him in a corner, reinforcing damaging ideas about black masculinity. So Tucker made a bold choice. He stepped back from the spotlight to find freedom. He wanted to explore life on his own terms, outside Hollywood's control. For him, it wasn't about fading away. It was about breaking free from a system that refused to let him grow. What helped him exit personal, some said he was purposely marketing himself. But Tucker had been protecting himself by walking away from Hollywood and from capitalism, the outspoken comedian who had never shied away from controversy. In both stories, Williams and Michael Jackson's death wasn't natural. Cat Williams was dropped bombshell footage revealing exactly why Michael was targeted by Billy. And the fact of the matter is, we watched this get murdered right in front of our own face. And they knew it was going to happen. He told us and we didn't know. He named his last four. But is this another attempt to hide the truth? Or is there more to the story? Was Michael Jackson alive? Michael Jackson, no stranger to controversy. From his battle with the press, legendary rise, tragic fall, Jackson's life was always in the spotlight.
Oh, man.
But in the months leading up to his death, Michael's distress became more apparent. He was paranoid, fearful, and desperate. He knew the walls were closing in on him, and he believed his enemies were getting closer. These chilling words came just days before Michael's death, but his fears weren't new. He had been warning those close to him for years, telling anyone who would
Well, at least they finally killed that couple.
industry were
I was sure
dangerous.
they made it out.
But what happened next shocked the world. Was Michael really the victim of a calculated, unenlightened plot?
There better been an army in that
Tragic
truck.
lifestyle
How the
catch up
fuck
with
did
him?
they wipe out the entire
Michael Jackson had been a part of the music industry his entire life, from the Jackson 5 to his solo stardom. But by the late 1990s, the King of Pop was starting to be occupied with fame. His music was a global phenomenon, but behind the scenes, Michael was battling forces that were determined to control him. And Johnny told us the devil.
I'm tough. At least they're scared of us.
Just try not to let your guard
I'm
down.
not
I'm
supposed
just
to do
saying,
it.
it's good having you on my side.
Michael wasn't just speaking
That
about
was a compliment.
he was uncovering something far bigger, a network of
Oh
control.
man, just go run through back.
But why did
You guys are a
single
team
out
at this point.
Tommy Mottola's name is
Heck,
synonymous
you
with
gave
power.
her a handgun, which is crazy.
As the head of Sony Music, one of the largest and most influential record companies in the
Man,
world,
what's the got here?
careers of countless artists who would go on to dominate the charts. Icons like Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, and even Michael Jackson himself worked under model of reign, making him one of the pivotal figures shaping the modern music landscape. But beneath the glamour and success of working with such a powerful executive, darker allegations began to surface. Allegations that Michael Jackson was publicly revealed as he confronted the man he once worked for. In 2002, Michael Jackson shocked the world with made an explosive public statement about Tommy Mottola. This wasn't just another celebrity feud or an artist unhappy with his label. Michael's words were filled with anger, fear, and the conviction of someone who had seen behind the curtain of an industry controlled by dangerous hands. Michael didn't hold back, calling Mottola a devil and accusing him of engaging in nefarious practices to maintain his power and control over artists. These weren't baseless claims from a disgruntled artist. According to Michael, Mottola was manipulating artists' careers, tapping their phones, and using intimidation tactics to keep them in line. Michael
They
was
finally caught the
determined
guy and
to
his
expose
girl?
the truth, but speaking out against such a powerful figure came with heavy
Them
consequences.
and whoever was in that pickup truck. It's a goddamn mess.
Continue our drive, Mrs. Jones. This wasn't just about music contracts or royalties.
Hey, how long
Michael
will it
Jackson
take
knew
to start
something
this?
far deeper.
I
He
don't know.
accused Mottola of being at the
Come on,
center
let's
of
go check with the guys down the
preyed on
street.
vulnerable artists, using them until they had nothing left. But Mottola wasn't acting alone, according to Michael. He was merely a player in a larger, more sinister game, orchestrated by the elite who controlled the industry. Jackson's
Whoa.
words sent
You see that
shockwaves
shit?
through the music world,
Where?
but they were also met with resistance from the media and entertainment companies, many of whom worked closely with Mottola. One of the most revealing moments came when Michael recounted a conversation with Mariah Carey, one of the most successful artists under modeling control. At the height of her career, Mariah had been married to Tommy Mottola, and their relationship was seen as a fairy tale in the media until it ended in a highly publicized divorce. Michael claims that after their breakup, Mariah confided in him, breaking down in tears and sharing a horror of an experience while she was in Mottola's custody. According to Michael, Mariah confronted Mottola in people, and Michael had to comfort her, knowing all too well the power Mottola exercised with artists. Then
Dead asshole!
Michael involved in soul, he checks the phone. Mariah Carey's relationship with Tommy Mottola is just one example of how deeply intertwined power and
Oh
control
man,
are in the music
we're
industry.
surviving.
While she was
What?
one of the most
Oh,
successful artists of
and
the 90s,
Tommy,
Mariah has
thank
since
you.
spoken about how suffocating her marriage to Mottola was, describing it as controlling and oppressive. Michael Jackson believes that Mariah's experience wasn't an isolated incident. To him, it was just one more piece of evidence in a much larger puzzle, a puzzle that revealed the true nature of the elite running the entertainment world.
Look, this is supposed to be about black artists, music business. I have no idea.
For Michael, Mottola was more
Only broadcast free club, and it's for more than 2,000.
Alright, looks like I did a good bit of streaming for today. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna continue more of this tomorrow, but hopefully, once I got time, but yeah.
fighting 18 credits on your own.
But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.
Oh, next
Bye
program.
bye.